Hey everyone, it's Valin again with a list of reasons why we left the US and moved to the UK, England specifically. So, first, I'll give a little bit of a background for those of you that don't know us. My husband Paul is a dual citizen, so he was born in England, moved to the US for work about 25 years ago. We met in Colorado 20 years ago, and then flash forward 20 years, and Paul's ready to retire. So we start thinking about, okay, what's that going to look like? One of the main reasons we decided on England was in the US, we would no longer have the health coverage that we did under Paul's employer. And in England, we were able to access the NHS from day one of the move. Paul just got right back on the plan. I was able to get on the plan through a spousal visa, which is another video, but for a certain amount of money, which was approximately £1,000, I was able to get started with the NHS. So obviously that's a lot less expensive than what it would look like to have coverage in the US. So that was a big one for both of us. And then friends and family. Paul has friends that, he's been friends with for 50 plus years in Derby, where he was born and raised, and his siblings are all still in or around Derby. So we are a few hours south by car. So it's not like we get to see them all the time, but we're obviously much closer than we were. Politics, we're on the same page with that as well. When it looked like Trump was going to get reelected, we were horrified, and it just made the decision that much simpler, easier for us. The gun violence also just had us both so just upset, and it doesn't feel good to go places and wonder, okay, is there going to be an issue? Where's the closest exit? How would I, defend myself, etc. So that was a deciding factor. And traveling, just when you're in England, it's kind of like a hub for so many other great places. And I have so many places on my list, and a lot of them are in Europe. So we're excited to be able to travel again, throughout Europe, and take more time and spend less money. And then public transportation here is better as well. There's a lot of places, a lot of countries you can get to by train, where the US just is not set up for that. And then walking, like footpaths. We've got footpaths everywhere here. We can walk. We live in a little village, and we can just walk out our door and head in almost any direction, and just, have access to just beautiful trails, woodlands, and it's just something that we really wanted and found hard to find. I mean, we lived in like 12 different states in the US, so some places were easier than others in terms of just walking, hiking, that kind of thing, but we really wanted that again. And Paul has down pub culture and proper pint or real ale. That was something that he missed when we lived in the US. I don't know really the difference. I'm just not a beer drinker, but he just missed his pints. And pubs here, I have to say, are typically very friendly, very cozy, and is a different atmosphere. It's more just like a community hub, and the sense of community here is, especially in a little village, that was important to us. So quality of life in general, I feel like we've slowed down some, and we're just more mindful. And then one thing that I had, and then I'll keep it somewhat short, but was I'm able to eat more foods here. I have autoimmune stuff, and my gut was really struggling in the US just because there's just a like much higher allowance of pesticides and chemicals like food colorings and stuff like that that are banned here. So that has been great. It's not as good as when we were in Italy. In Italy, I could get away with almost, anything. But here, I'm a lot healthier than I was in the US when it comes to gut stuff. So I guess I'll leave it at that. I am looking forward to any questions or comments that you have, and I will post a video on how we managed to move and what the costs were and that kind of stuff too. That will probably be my next video. So if you have any questions around that, I would love to hear them. Thanks so much, and talk to you soon.